Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Reviews on Tap with myself from 1 Hour Live. Reviews on Tap is back indefinitely for now, as Minzy mentioned. Before I carry on, I just want to quickly announce the fact that with the next coming episodes, I'm going to be doing more of some experimental content, not too experimental obviously, but in terms of veering off from Hollywood cinema, focusing more on TV shows, which is something that we didn't do that much or at all on this show, and also focusing more on like foreign cinema, also just playing around with some of the formats instead of just only making it reviews, trying out ranking lists and seeing if you guys like that. If you do, let us know and whatnot. To kick that off, I'm starting with a film today called El Hoyo. It's a Spanish film called El Hoyo. In English, it's The Platform. Most of you guys already know this film. Obviously, it's from last year. And I've also seen a lot of people on Twitter speak about it even before I watched it myself. I watched it this year. It's a film directed by Galda Gaztelu Urrutia. Yes, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And basically the premise of the film is a very simple but very interesting premise. Is there's this prison, right? This vertical prison with layers. Each cell is like a floor rather, instead of layers. And surprisingly enough, from what I picked up from the film, this prison is, you can volunteer to actually go to this prison in exchange for some social service, like getting a diploma or whatever, right? You don't necessarily have to have committed a crime to go here. You yourself can just say, yo, I want to come here for so long and this is what I expect. That's what I gathered from the film. I might be entirely wrong, but you definitely don't have to have committed a crime to go into this prison. And when you do go in, you're offered the opportunity to bring one thing in with you for the rest of your sentence. And also you're given the opportunity to write down on a list your favorite food that you would ideally like. It has roughly 300 and something floors, this vertical prison. And every day there is a platform that levitates, from floor 0 all the way up until 330 something, if I'm not mistaken, decked with food. So you don't choose which floor you live in for however long you're living, right? It's one floor per month, but you don't choose which floor you can go. It's not based on merit, it's not based on behavior, it's based on nothing. It's just randomly, first month of your sentence you're already on floor 333, and the next month you've jumped up to floor 10, or it's a very random system that you cannot game or play or figure out or whatever, right? And obviously the food starts on floor 1 and then it goes down, and obviously the people at the top get the spoils of the spoils, they get everything while it's still fresh. And by the time you're at floor 50, floor whatever, you know, the deeper you go, before you even at floor 100, the table is pretty much cleaned out. You eat as much as you can for a limited time, and then the platform goes down to each floor. But the tricky thing is the fact that you can't hoard any food. If you hoard some food, there's a penalty. And just that setting alone makes it a pretty interesting story to explore people. Each floor is a cell, and in each cell, there are two, like most prisons, there are two inmates who are sharing, strangers who are basically just sharing this cell for the remainder of whatever their prison sentence is, right? And like I said, it's a very random up and down thing. You don't get to decide where you wake up. When you find yourself in a situation where, let's say you're on floor 300 and you haven't had food for over a month, what can that do to a person? You know, what are you willing to do to survive? It's a very tough situation, and it also, you ask yourself, wow, well, I did at least, like, damn, if I found myself in the same situation, would I be doing what these guys are doing? Or would I find some other logical or whatever thing I justify with, okay, this is a better option than actually doing this? So yeah, my biggest takeaway from the film, or how I interpreted the film, like, what is it about? It's a movie about, well, to me at least, it's about coming into a system with a very naive eye, a very hopeful eye, not really understanding the full gravity of the situation you put yourself in. And even when faced with the realities and the harsh reality of what you're actually dealing with, still having that glimmer of hope that you can make a difference or you can change something, which is very difficult when you're coming into a system with people who have been subjected to that environment for a very long time, because it's a system that is designed to divide, right? Divide and conquer, obviously. So it's very, you first have to convince people who are around you in order for you to be able to even make a difference, because alone you cannot. And that it focuses a lot more on that, especially with the main character, his cellmate, and literally everybody else in this prison that he comes across. It has that telling you that the hope, don't give up, always have a certain level of hope, even in the darkest hour where you feel like, I wouldn't blame this person for turning into the worst version of themselves, it would be totally justified. And it kind of pushes that you can do something for the greater good. You can keep on keeping on, and try, even when it literally looks like, well, you can't really do something or anything about this. You can push on and just, be a better person. And that's the biggest problem I have. Not that, the fact that wasn't resolved, in my opinion, properly. The film focuses a lot on literature, because literally the main character goes into this prison with a book, which is a pretty interesting thing, especially when you look at it from the beginning, or at least it was to me at the beginning. It was, oh, of course you would go in with the book. It makes sense. I mean, there's a lot to you. Have 6 months in jail, basically. You kind of want to have something that's gonna, jog your mind, teach you, be able to learn, keep yourself educated, but at the same time also keep yourself entertained, And it's funny how the book itself is almost kind of like used against the character within the film, where one of the characters within the film is able to take it and flip it on the main character and sort of twist your own beliefs on you, where you're in a situation where you're like, now your own principles are kind of turning against you. So that was pretty interesting, but I didn't like how it was pushed to the end. And in the end, it kind of was like, they tried to be too on the nose or too meta with how they were doing it. So much so that the ending is just really not satisfying. It's like, there could have been a better way. You could have resolved that. Even if it was open-ended, there could have still been a better way. I'm not sure myself how I would have ended it, but that's why I have such a huge problem with the ending. But the majority of the film is a very solid film. It's actually a very great film. It's just that last part that I have a problem. It's like, for such a great film, why couldn't you end it on a great note? But yeah, that's basically about it. That was my takeaway, and that's basically how I feel about the film. But however, it's a very amazing film. It's an interesting film. Go check it out. It's on Netflix if you haven't checked it out already. If you have, comment down below, what did you think about it? Speaking of comments, hold that thought for a minute. I just want to take this time out to shout out Grav and Lucid on Twitter. They watch and review foreign films almost on a daily basis. So as much as I'm going to be reviewing foreign films on this platform, if you want something that's, more content and you want to go back, I can't remember when they started their page, just go and follow them, Grav and Lucid, on Twitter, GRAVANDLUCID. Give them a shout out, give them a follow, and engage their content. But as I was saying, before you comment down below, this situation, right? Envision yourself in such a world. If you were to go in this prison, this vertical prison, right? And you were given the option to go in with one thing. You can choose anything. It can be a gun, a weapon, a book, whatever to go in, but it has to be one thing. What would you go in with into this prison? And then what would be on the menu? What are the one piece of food that you like on this menu? Also consider the very high possibility that you will never probably eat that food. So consider, be a bit more strategic about it if you can. Comment down below, have you seen the film? Have you not seen the film? And if you have, what would you go in with and what would you put on the list of the menu, your favorite food or whatever you prefer to be on the menu? Yeah, that's basically about it, guys. Look out for more foreign film reviews from myself and the other guys. Look out for TV show, like as in series reviews. Planning on reviewing Solar Opposites, Dave, and when it comes to foreign films, I'll probably review a lot of Korean cinema, because I've been watching a lot of that, and some Spanish stuff. Wild Tales was actually an amazing film. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Maybe I'll review it and you can come and check out the review. But that's basically about it, guys. Drop your comments down below. Go follow me on Twitter, Live, NQANAWELIVE. Go follow Uspa at Sparkles, SPHARKLES. Go follow Menzi obviously at Anacadium, And yeah, that's basically about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review, and yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, watch movies, watch these reviews, and watch everything you can watch. Honestly, you kind of don't have a choice. Shop.